Today we are practicing a second trimester prenatal dynamic yoga flow. And this one's a little bit different because we actually need a wall. Now I've got a half wall here or a countertop, but it's a wall, it works. We need the wall mostly for the waist down and to hold onto. So if you can set yourself up next to a wall, if you're going to practice along with me, that would be great. A couple other things we'll need is 2 blocks if you have them. 1 would be fine, but 2 would be great. And then a bolster if you want. A lot of this is optional. And I do have to start by saying, this is my own personal practice. I am not a certified prenatal yoga teacher. In fact, I am getting this sequence from these cards, the prenatal yoga cards and Ayurvedic wisdom. They're amazing, so I will leave a link in the description to check them out if you want to see them yourself. And I have my sequence from the cards listed out over here, which you can't see. I will insert it into the video. So today's dynamic flow is to spice up your practice. We're going to introduce the wall. So about half the flow will utilize a wall, so be up next to it, close to it, or you can always move yourself next to it. And if you are just entering your second trimester, you might have a little bit more energy. Maybe you move away from the wall. If you are like me and maybe a little bit later into the second trimester, you'll really appreciate the support that it gives you. Second trimester is between, I think it starts around 13 or 14 weeks and lasts until like 26 or 27. And I'm right at that tail end. So I was waiting a little while so that you could maybe tell a little bit more that I am pregnant. So this is second trimester. You can do this at any point, but you could also do this in your first trimester as well. Just do what's best for your body. Also, make sure to contact your doctor or your midwife or whoever you're working with for to make sure and ensure that these movements and this practice is safe for you. Okay? So disclaimers aside, let's go ahead and get started with this second trimester, more dynamic but still pretty gentle yoga flow. My name is Ashley and I will be leading you through this class. So if you have a bolster, grab it if you do. If not, set yourself up in a comfortable position. I'm actually going to sit on this, so set yourself up seated in an easy pose. Ooh. You can sit on your blocks, you can sit really wherever works for you. And you may see me look over and reference the sequence a little bit. Got my notes over here. But we're going to sit for our first pose. We're going to just simply settle in. Place one hand on your heart, left or right. I would say left. Your heart is on the left side. And then place a hand on your belly. If it feels okay for you, start to close the eyes. Breathing in and out through the nose and noticing the rise and the fall of your belly, the expansion of your upper body with each breath. Now we'll breathe in and out through the nose. It's the best, most clearing and cleansing way to breathe. This breath is going to be our guide today, keeping us in the present moment and allowing us to feel into and out of each pose in each movement. This is a prenatal yoga flow, so acknowledge yourself, your ability to show up for you, and also acknowledge and notice your baby. You are doing something healthy for you and for the child that will soon be here. Now, if anything doesn't feel good, doesn't feel right, please go ahead and skip it. Take breaks as much as you need. And we'll take one more deep breath. And let it go. Maybe a sigh out as you take your hands down. Let's get into some movements. So you can continue to sit in this cross-legged position, that's fine. If you would like to add something a little different, and if you have a bolster, we can straddle on it to create what's called hero pose. So in this comfortable position, this could be good. This gets the hips up without putting a lot of pressure on the knees or opening up a little bit. So we've got a bolster hero pose or an easy seated pose. Wherever you happen to be, take those hands behind you, interlace the fingers, or you can grab the wrist. If you're able to interlace the fingers, press the palms together and lift the pinkies up as you look up gently for this heart opening pose. So we're trying to stretch through the upper back, not too much bend in the lower back. So you're going to pull the abs in slightly, almost like you're tucking your tailbone just a little bit, and focus more up on the shoulders. Good, and release that slowly. And you can continue to sit here or the cross-legged position. Come back to that. We can always switch back and forth. And some easy, just neck, feel-good stretches. So take the right ear to your right shoulder and your right hand on the side of your head as you pull down. Your opposite hand is going to reach towards the floor or away from you. Take that nice deep breath. Now releasing that slowly. Switch sides, reach right hand down, left ear to left shoulder, left hand on the side of the head as you pull down, finding the length from the top, the ear to the fingertips, and reach a little farther. You can tilt forward a little bit too. We'll do that on both sides. So we'll start on this side, tilt forward just a bit, continue to reach. And then chin to chest, switch sides one more time, just slightly forward. Hand is now more at the back of the head. And if it helps to grab onto the bolster, that's an option too. Okay, release that, bring the chin to chest and then head up. And just simply opening up the throat by looking up, looking down, side to side, anywhere where you might find you need a little extra space. Now, if a couple of shoulder shrugs get in there too, that's not so bad. Starting with some of these smaller muscles. I know we carry a lot of tension, and you might have felt good or feel good through the second trimester. It's kind of where the energy comes back. But you might also be carrying a little extra weight, a little extra tension. So we're trying to ease that in this process. Okay. Now we're heading off of our bolster or off of a seated position to the hands and knees. So go ahead and roll off. If you have a bolster, let's set it aside. We'll need it for the end of our practice for our Shavasana to help us propped up a bit. Let's bring it into a place of all fours and then walk those hands slightly forward. If you are feeling dizzy, you can stay on all fours. If you're feeling okay in this pose, let's go to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees and send the hips up and back. We're going to get into our first sequence of bigger yoga poses. So take a moment to pedal the feet and just to notice your downward facing dog. Feels good? Yes? No? Who knows? If it doesn't, at any time you can bring the knees down or sit in child's pose. Always an option. So from our down dog, the first thing we're going to do to get into our first sequence is to step our right foot forward. How you want to do that is up to you. We can step the right foot to the outside of the right hand, giving yourself some space. Walk the hands back. If you're on your knees, you can step it forward, replace that right hand. And I assume you'll find a way there somehow. Tuck the toes under and lift the back knee off the ground. Back heel spins to the ground and then walk yourself up. Use your hands to support you and then open to warrior two. Now we are going to need the wall, so I'm going to scooch back just a little bit because my wall is a half wall. And place a block next to your right foot. So we are in warrior two, but we might have to adjust and just based on where we are. So place a block next to your right foot so you're able to press into it. So that knee is opening. And extend the back heel a little farther. Hips stay level and neutral right here. Open the arms. And if you've got the little bony part of that right foot onto the block. Press into it, feel it, and then feel the heels squeeze together. Reach the arms wide. A nice shoulder roll, and then deepen this pose a little longer. Now, dynamic does not mean a lot of fast movement. We might isolate a little longer, just preparing for labor and delivery, right? We got to get a little uncomfortable. We can do anything for a minute. Now lean forward, start to reach forward. Now I didn't give you a break on that right leg, so do your best. Elbow comes to your thigh and upper hand reaches up. Now roll the shoulder back. If you're able to, press the shoulder against the wall. If you've got one, keep pressing the ankle bone into the block. And maybe extend it. Extend that top arm. Roll that top shoulder into the back wall. Open up. Good, good. I'm going to try something else. You're welcome to stay right here, or take the top hand, reach it up high. Ooh, my leg's feeling it already. You might give it a quick straighten, and then a lower, bend again. Reach forward. If you're against the wall, you can try this. Bend the back knee, shift forward. You've got a block. You can take that block from where it was against the wall. Keep your foot about still block distance. Block in the right hand and lift off. Roll open, and you'll find a little bit of ease here. Since we are against the wall, you're pushing against it, pressing, and sort of staying still. Let's see if we can lighten the fingertips. Half moon. Definitely a bigger pose. That top hand can come to the hip. We keep everything stacked in a straight line. Flex through that back foot. Look up if you're able to. All right, let's come out of this. Bend the bottom knee, step back slowly. Rise up to warrior two. Now you might heel toe a little bit back to your mat. Take your hands to your hips. Turn to the front, towards that front knee. Lift the back heel and bend into that front leg. Now if you have to adjust away from the wall, that is totally okay. And reach those hands up, crescent lunge. Feet are a good distance apart from each other, a little wider hip distance, and then reach the thumbs back. You're feeling that heat in the legs, maybe a little balance. All of these poses are balance poses, keeping us strong. Good, and then take the hands down. Find the hands to the hips, deep breath in. Back heel spins down. Now pivot to more of a star position. And all we're going to do is loosen it out a little bit. Move the hips side to side. Maybe circles. Circles in the hips. If we had, you can go straight legs. If we had like a yoga ball, this is going to be a great movement to do, loosening up the joints, the hips, and switch directions. Great job. Okay. Does that feel good? I could stay here for a long time, but we won't do that. Okay. We'll switch it right away to the other side. Go ahead and set your blocks up where they were before, or switching sides. I'm going to simply just switch by moving a little bit, by pivoting to the left side. So set yourself up for that warrior two. We're not going to start from down dog. We'll start from standing. Adjust so the front heel and back arch is in a line. You might even feel your booty up against the wall. That's okay. Then we can work to pull under, hug in, level the hips, and still press the little foot bone, ankle bone into the block. Open the arms. Now can you get a little bit lower? Maybe. Maybe a smile as we breathe. A few deep breaths, getting into the strength of our lower body. Now we've been here before, so we're not going to rush the second side. In fact, just because that's a tendency, I try to go slower, even slower. Good. Start to reach forward. Reach. And take the elbow to your thigh. Reach up with that top hand or start to extend it. Side angle. Roll that shoulder back. Press against the wall if possible. Open up. Remain steady. Press into the ankle bone, foot bone. Keep the knee open, hips open, everything open. Open to all these sensations. Okay, rise up. Well, we're not going to rise. We're going to straighten the leg for a moment. Might take your hand to your hip. That's going to work. Rebend and take the block that was next to you, maybe a little bit more forward. I've got 2 blocks here. If you want to heel toe a little farther away from the wall, an inch or 2, that works. Shift forward, hand to the block, and lift the back leg. Now against a wall, we can really start to open and lift. You'll feel the obliques working, but we're keeping extension in both sides of the waist. Option to reach up. And lighter on the fingertips if possible. We're not looking to reach for the floor at all. No, no, no. Let's keep it lengthened and stable and feel more of the stretch, less of the balance. Good. Keep reaching a little higher. Look up. Now rebend. Set your foot back down. Lift back up to warrior 2. Hands to your hips. Now we rotate to what is the second side, front of the mat. Adjust as needed. Again, you can use your hand on the wall, or if you've got a counter like me, cool. Widen the feet a little bit. Back heels lifted. Bending into crescent lunge. Back knee can be a little bent, or try to straighten, feeling the top leg, hip flexor of the back leg. Reach those arms up. Send the thumbs back like you're holding onto a beach ball. Look up. Continue to draw the shoulders down the back of the body. Front heel, back ball of the foot squeezing together and pressing through the back heel. And we bring the hands down to the hips. Straighten that front leg. Pivot into that star. Second time around. Hip circles. Let's go around and around. And if you find yourself out of breath like me, I know I'm talking at the same time, breathe. It's okay to breathe through your mouth a little bit. Slow things down. If you find yourself congested, I know that comes up too. Just work into some slow movements and as steady with the breath as you can. All right, from these hip circles, let's heel toe the feet in just a little bit. We're going to do a wider but not too wide chair pose. And we actually want to be about a foot or so away from the wall, so your butt's going to bump up against it. So actually, you can bend the knees if you're against that wall like I am. Bend the knees, sit back onto it, give yourself support, and then sweep the arms up. Now you might notice if you need to adjust, you can come out of it, then readjust. So we're not doing a wall sit, your entire back is not against it. It's just like your tailbone, and that's it. Where you pull in a bit, making sure the toes are still in front of the knees, and right there. Awesome. Yes? Keep reaching. Find that edge. Little bit of an edge. Feeling the quads come alive. If the shoulders are hunching, a little bend in the elbows. You're getting some support from the wall, some pushback. If you shift your weight forward and back, what happens? Can you get a little lower? Don't overextend yourself. Okay, and release that. Whew. From there, you'll turn around. I'm going to go from the side view so you can see this. We're going to do a standing tabletop by the wall, or it's just a arm extension. So I'm going to be way over here. I don't want to, face my back towards you. So hands are going to be on the wall if you have a wall right here, right? But it's about this height. Walk it back, bend the knee, or bend the hips. Bend in the hips. Straight legs, and it's this like downward facing dog at an angle. So press, and then melt your head, your chest down a little bit. You can go as wide as feet as you want. Yep, just to feel that. Now, if I were against my wall that I was using, you would be seeing the view of my backside. But I just had to move for a second. So this practice is not super flowy. We are going to be moving from pose to pose, and you might have to adjust. That's all right. Okay, rise out of this slowly, pressing against the wall, walking in. And then if you need to turn around with me and go back to our wide leg stance. So heel toe a little bit wider. I've got these blocks here. They're going to help for a twist as we do a forward fold wide twist. So feet parallel to each other, hands on the hips. Take a deep breath in, and then take the hands down to the blocks or the floor if that's accessible to you. So lift through the tailbone right here, right? You're feeling this in the hamstrings. And what level you want your blocks is up to you. We're not going to go straight down underneath the nose. In fact, let's keep the hands under the shoulders. One hand stays down, other hand reaches up. Here we go, twist. So create a little bit more openness, twisting more so in the upper body, and reach. Just a few deep breaths, that's all we need. I don't know about you, but it feels really good on my upper back. I did something to it a couple days ago. Maybe it's stress or tension. Try to stack the shoulders above one another and switch sides. Exhale to come down. A nice lengthening breath in. And a long exhale out. Reach up with that opposite hand. And I forgot to mention there is a modification where you can take the hand behind your back instead. And your arm doesn't have to be straight up. It can be at an angle, so don't worry if you're not getting to the deepest of depths. In fact, we're not trying to do that at all. Go for the sensation. If you're able to, feels good on the neck, look up. Continue the twist through the gaze, and equal weight in both feet. And as you exhale next time, bring it back down. Good. And lengthening. A little bend in the knees to help you come out of this. Hands on the hips and rise up. Now turn the toes out to the side. We're going to do a goddess flow, meaning bending the knees, with lion's breath. And lion's breath is just like a releasing, heat releasing, is type of thing, okay? You can try that with me. You can do it once. Inhale, and then stick your tongue out. Become that mama bear, except it's a lion. So mama lion. So toes out, reach up, and as you exhale, pull down, bend the knees, and let a long exhale. Bring out your fierceness. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Let's do it 3 more times. Total of 5. Exhale, pull. 2 more. Can we do a little bit lower, this last one? Stay here. Open the arms. Take your hands to your thighs. Dip one shoulder down. Switch sides. Dip the other shoulder down. Let's go back and forth one more time. Dip the shoulder down. Open the knees. And once more. Okay, good. Okay. Rising up around the back. Lift. Now we're going to turn around again and get onto that wall once more. Same sort of L shape on the wall, but this time with a little hip sway side to side. So I'm going to go right here and show you what we're doing. So you can place your hands against a wall, that works. I just don't happen to have that here. Or it can be on a countertop or even a chair. A chair works too. And from this position, it's a side-to-side action. Shifting to one side, you're going to open up the shoulders, but also feel it in the hips, going right and left. Create a little organic movement, maybe a little dance for you. Side to side. And we only have one more pose left after this. Okay, after those side to sides, let's rise back up slowly. We're going to come back down to our hands and knees. Now, for the blocks, we can set those up. Actually, just take them to the front of the mat, wherever that might be. And we'll walk it down slowly, folding forward. With an inhale, reach those hands up. Exhale, hands come down. Walk the hands down, kind of like an inchworm. Walk them forward. Now take the knees down to the floor. We get to do some more hip circles before our relaxation. So let's take the right foot forward. We're going to do it from hands and knees. Extend the right leg, bend the knee, and bring it around, stepping to the outside of the right hand. Yes, tuck the back toes under and scooch that knee a little farther back. Just a little farther. So we've got more of this, often called like a lizard lunge or a low lunge, hands on the inside, creating as much space as you want. And then in this position, a little maybe round to the back, but start to shift forward, bringing it around the hips in a circle. Gentle movements, but trying to feel something. Switch directions. Also great for this kind of a rocking motion. Great for the feels of the baby. I mean, we all like to kind of rock and sway, right? Kind of. Okay, finish out some of those. You can tuck the back toes, scooch a little more forward if possible. Then heel to the right foot back, slide it back. Adjust a little so we can get to the other side. Left leg back or second leg around, step to the outside of the hand. Lots of space, set yourself up. Back toes tuck and you move the knee. We're going to move in circles again, nice and slow. As much or as little height with the blocks as you want. If you want to make these bigger circles all the way back, depending on your range of motion, make this comfortable, make it feel good. There should be no pain involved in this one. Or really any of the poses, to be honest, no pain. Okay, finish out with one long lunge. Send the hips back, heel toe the left foot out to the side, and bring it down. Okay, we're going to set ourselves up for a relaxation or shavasana, if you want to call it that. I have a bolster. If you are still early in the second trimester and you feel good lying on your back, you can do that right on your mat. If you are like, hey, lying on my back doesn't feel good, I don't want to risk it, my recommendation is to create this little medium stack of a block and full-size stack of a block, or if you have one block, that works too, but to lay the bolster on top at an angle. So you might have to adjust that. If you have two bolsters, or if you have something else that can set you up, a chair you can rest this on, awesome. This is one of the best ways to relax. There's a few ways to do this. So we're doing a reclined bound angle as our relaxation. And before we get to that, I do want to mention in these yoga carts, there is a guided meditation that's 18 minutes long. That would be amazing to finish out this practice, listening to that. And also our affirmations that we can repeat. Second trimester affirmations include, I enjoy feeling my baby inside me. I trust Mother Nature with her work. I am a good mother. I am preparing my body and mind for labor. And there's a whole list here that we can go through. But for now, let's go ahead and bound angle. So that means feet together, knees open wide. And if you have a towel or something you want to put over the feet, that works. And maybe if you had blocks, additional ones you wanted under the knees or pillows, that could also work. So then slowly start to lie back and relax your arms next to your sides. Long exhale out. Now if you want to come back to hands on your belly, it's always nice as a mama to be. Feeling baby. I often find that during meditation or shavasana after a yoga practice, baby tends to be very active. So if you've been feeling any kicks yet, you might feel something here and enjoy that very special feeling. So find that relaxed place, and we'll be here a minute together. But a reminder that you can turn this off, turn me off, and stay here as long as you like. Repeating your second trimester affirmations, listening to the guided meditation, and just trusting and allowing that you are in the exact place you need to be right now, you and your baby. Let's start to take a deeper breath in. Wiggle your fingers and toes. If you are joining me with this, we're going to come out slowly. Again, you're welcome to stay longer. Now it helps to lift the knees up first, just to get the knees up and a little movement. Tuck the chin, roll to the left side to help press yourself up. If you have your wall next to you on left or right side, you can roll to that side to help you press back up and out of that lying down position. Now sit comfortable just to end together. We've made it through a 30-minute dynamic practice using the wall as a prop and allowing ourselves to feel good for this time and to take care of ourselves and take care of what is growing inside of us. Make sure to check out the WorkoutLabs prenatal yoga cards at the link in the description of this video. And I do hope to see you in another video or another practice or somewhere else very soon. Let's put our hands together, take one more breath in if you're willing to, and let it go. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.